What if the path to peace was not in the mind, but hidden beneath your feet? Imagine the quiet rhythm of your breath syncing with the heartbeat of the earth. The camera moves in slow motion, grains of sand pressed gently beneath a pair of bare feet. Each step leaves behind a whisper, a trace of connection between body and soul. You pause, feeling the pulse of something ancient beneath you, a subtle hum that's always been there, waiting for you to listen. For thousands of years, healers believed that our bodies were living maps, sacred landscapes where the soul communicated through sensation. They said that peace was not something to think about, but something to touch, to awaken. And at the base of this ancient wisdom lies a forgotten key, a small spot on your foot that can open a doorway to inner stillness. In traditional Chinese medicine, this point is called Yongquan, meaning gushing spring. It rests near the center of your soul, and it was said to connect directly to the earth's energy. Ancient physicians taught that when life became heavy, when the mind felt scattered or restless, pressing this spot would quiet the storms within. They saw it not as magic, but as alignment, the returning of flow. Modern science, thousands of years later, is beginning to echo what they already knew. Studies on the vagus nerve, the great communicator between brain and body, reveal how touch and pressure in the feet can activate the parasympathetic system, the one responsible for calm, digestion, and deep rest. When this system awakens, heart rate slows, muscles loosen, and thoughts begin to fade into stillness. In that moment, the mind no longer commands the body. It listens to it. Maybe that's why, in so many cultures, the act of touching the feet, washing, massaging, or walking barefoot on the earth was seen as sacred. In Hindu rituals, it was an offering of humility. In Buddhist monasteries, a daily act of grounding. In reflexology charts from Egypt and China, a map of the entire body mirrored within the soul. The foot was not just a tool for walking, it was the foundation of consciousness itself. So as you listen, take a slow breath. Let it travel down your chest, your belly, and rest softly in your feet. Feel how the earth holds you, without asking, without judgment. For a moment, let everything else fade, the noise, the plans, the doubts. There is only breath and ground, and the quiet reminder that peace was never lost. It was simply waiting beneath you. Before we begin, if your spirit feels drawn here, trust it. Tap subscribe, whisper a quiet yes to your own growth, and join us on this journey beyond the figure. Tell me, from which city, from what moment of your day are you listening to these words? Write your name and your city below. And if you want me to share your story in a future video, send it to me. Together, let's help this family reach 10,000 souls walking this same quiet path. One step, one heartbeat, one breath at a time. There is a doorway beneath your skin, a point so small it could be missed by the eye, yet vast enough to change the rhythm of your entire being. The ancients knew it not through diagrams or instruments, but through experience. They felt it, they lived it. In Egypt, healers traced invisible rivers across the feet, believing that each curve and hollow mirrored the organs of the body. The heel, they said, was the root, where life force anchored into the earth. The arch carried the memory of the spine, and the ball of the foot held the breath of the heart. Every touch was a conversation between body and soul, a reminder that healing did not come to you, it came through you. In India, this same wisdom took the form of sacred devotion. The feet were seen as the resting place of energy, the lowest point where spirit met matter. To touch another's feet was to honor the divine within them. The Marma Shastra, an ancient Ayurvedic text, describes pressure points that connect to the prana, the life energy flowing through the subtle channels of the body. Among them lies one that governs calmness, digestion, and sleep, a point so delicate that even gentle contact could bring balance to an anxious heart. And in China, scholars mapped the souls like galaxies. The Yongquan, or gushing spring, was said to draw energy upward from the earth, nourishing every organ, every breath. When activated, this point awakened the kidney meridian, restoring not just physical vitality, but emotional steadiness. To them, the body was not a machine, it was an ecosystem, a living bridge between heaven and earth. If you press your thumb just below the ball of your foot, near the center of the soul, you're touching what they all described, the doorway beneath the skin. It's where ancient intuition meets modern understanding. Science now tells us that the feet are dense with nerve endings, over 7,000 in each sole. When stimulated, they send signals through the vagus nerve and spinal pathways, influencing your parasympathetic system, the body's natural calm switch. That switch controls your heartbeat, your digestion, your breath. When it activates, muscles unclench, the diaphragm softens, and the mind begins to quiet. This is not imagination. It's the body remembering its rhythm. If you've ever walked barefoot on cool grass or warm sand, you've felt it, the subtle pulse of connection. The earth meeting your nerves, your body releasing its static charge into the ground. Science calls this grounding or earthing, but the ancients simply called it returning home. Dr. Candace Pert, in her groundbreaking book, Molecules of Emotion, wrote, "The body is the subconscious mind. Our emotions are not just in our heads, they live in our cells, in the very fabric of our being. Every time you touch this sacred spot, you are reminding your body that it is safe to feel again, safe to release, to rest, to breathe." It's almost poetic, isn't it? The more we walk through life, the more the earth remembers us. Each step writes a story into the soil, of joy, of sorrow, of becoming. The earth holds that memory with quiet patience, waiting for the day you stop running long enough to listen. This technique, then, is not just a massage or a reflex. It is remembrance, a way of speaking back to your body in its oldest language, touch. It is a practice of faith, not in gods or systems, but in the intelligence woven through your own skin. You don't need to understand energy pathways or memorize anatomy. You only need to feel. When your fingers find that point, the one just beneath the ball of your foot, you're communicating directly with your nervous system, telling it, it's time to soften. It's time to come home. Ancient texts may have used the language of energy, while modern books use the language of biology, but both whisper the same truth. Your body is listening. And sometimes healing begins not with thought, but with touch. Before we move deeper, take a moment. Help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Share this video with your friends and loved ones. Tell me in the comments, what city are you watching from and what time of day? I'd love to see where our energy circle expands. And if you'd like me to create a detailed video inspired by your own story, share it below. I read every comment with care. Visit our channel Beyond the Figure for more videos like this. Gentle reminders that the sacred is never far. It's right beneath your feet. When peace touches the body, it does not arrive like lightning, but it arrives like a pulse, slow, rhythmic, and familiar. The science of stillness begins here, in the conversation between your nerves and your breath. Beneath every heartbeat lies a messenger called the vagus nerve, a long, winding pathway that connects your brain to nearly every organ, your heart, lungs, stomach, and even the skin on your feet. This nerve is the body's bridge between emotion and physiology. When you feel anxious, it's the vagus that quickens your breath, tightens your chest, and floods your system with stress hormones. But when you breathe deeply or touch the right point, such as that soft spot just below the ball of your foot, the signal reverses. Your body begins to whisper back, "You are safe now." Modern research calls this shift parasympathetic activation, a state where the body moves from alertness to restoration. Blood flow increases toward your digestive organs. Heart rate slows, muscles relax. Even your pupils soften their focus. It is the physical expression of peace, written in biological language, pressing the sole of your foot, specifically the Yongquan point known to ancient. Chinese medicine activates clusters of nerve endings that send calm signals upward through the spinal cord. These signals reach the brainstem, which then triggers the release of endorphins and oxytocin, chemicals that bring about feelings of warmth, trust, and inner safety. What many call energy flow is, in scientific terms, the nervous system returning to harmony. Dr. Bruce Lipton, author of The Biology of Belief, once wrote, "Your thoughts are not confined to your head. They resonate through every cell. Change the signal, and you change the body. The moment your fingers press gently into that point, you are changing the signal. You are telling your nervous system to let go of defense, to open the gates of calm. And the beauty of this practice is that it doesn't require belief. It simply requires attention. Even if you don't believe in energy flow, your body does. It listens in silence. When your breath slows and deepens, the vagus nerve stretches gently with the movement of your diaphragm. This rhythmic motion acts like a massage for your internal organs, coaxing them into a synchronized rhythm. Scientists call this vagal tone, the flexibility of your nervous system to move gracefully between stress and rest. People with strong vagal tone experience better sleep, lower blood pressure, and greater emotional resilience. That's why so many traditions, from yoga to qigong to reflexology, include touch and breath together. It's not superstition, it's communication. When you breathe consciously while pressing that point, you create coherence, a moment when your heart rhythm, breath, and brainwaves fall into harmony. You may begin to feel subtle sensations, a faint warmth spreading through your arch, a soft tingling, or a gentle wave rising through your legs and spine. These are signs of alignment, not magic, but biology responding to mindfulness. The body recognizes care as safety and safety as healing. Imagine your nervous system as a symphony. For most of us, daily stress makes it chaotic. The strings racing, the drums too loud. When you touch that point on your foot, it's like lowering the conductor's hand. The instruments fall into tempo. The music of your body slows into something melodic, steady, human. Dr. Stephen Porges, the neuroscientist who developed the polyvagal theory, describes it beautifully. Safety is not the absence of threat, but the presence of connection. That connection can be as simple as your hand meeting your own skin, one part of you reassuring another. This is why so many who practice this foot technique describe not only physical calm, but emotional release. Tears, sighs, quiet laughter. It's the body remembering that peace was never lost, only buried under layers of noise. When the vagus nerve awakens, it does more than calm your heartbeat. It strengthens digestion, deepens sleep, and softens emotional reactivity. Your body begins to function in harmony with your environment, like a tree swaying with the wind instead of fighting against it. As you continue to breathe, notice how each exhale feels slightly heavier, as if it carries something away: tension, thought, resistance. The more you soften, the clearer the inner voice becomes. That's the science of stillness, the measurable physiology of peace. Ancient wisdom and modern research may use different words, but they describe the same miracle: a body capable of listening to itself. Peace doesn't have to be achieved through willpower or meditation marathons. Sometimes it begins in a single touch, a quiet breath, a small signal sent from your foot to your brain, whispering, "It's okay now. Stay here for a moment." Feel that pulse beneath your thumb. Let the science and the silence meet within you. Two languages, one truth. Sit somewhere quiet where the air feels gentle, where the world seems to exhale with you. Take off your shoes, let your feet breathe. The earth has been holding you all this time, and now for a few moments it asks you to listen back. Place your feet flat on the ground. Let your spine relax like a tree finding its roots. Feel the weight of your body settling into the chair, the steadiness beneath you. Before touching anything, take a slow breath in and out. Now lift one foot onto your opposite thigh or rest it on a soft pillow. With your thumb, trace the curve of your sole until you find the tender hollow just beneath the ball of your foot. Not quite the center, not quite the heel, but the space between. This is the peace point, known in ancient Chinese medicine as Yongquan, the gushing spring. It's where energy rises like water through the body's inner channels, refreshing every cell, Start by pressing this point gently in small circular motions. Don't rush it. Your thumb should glide, not dig. The aim is not force, it's communication. The skin and nerves beneath your touch are sensitive messengers. Each slow rotation sends a ripple through your body's network, signaling the nervous system to soften, to open. Breathe with your movement. Inhale through your nose, feeling the breath expand across your chest. Exhale slowly through your mouth, letting go of tension that's gathered in unseen corners. With each circle, imagine a golden light glowing beneath your skin, a warm pulse radiating outward, moving from the sole of your foot up through your legs, hips, and spine. Let that light fill the body like sunrise through a window. If your mind wanders, bring it gently back to the sensation under your thumb, the pressure, the warmth, the faint tingling. That's your nervous system responding, your body shifting toward calm. You might notice a subtle temperature change, a wave of warmth or a light buzzing sensation. That is not imagination. It's circulation awakening, blood and electrical signals dancing together in rhythm. Once you've circled for about a minute, pause and press down gently, holding steady pressure for another slow breath cycle. Then release. You can repeat this 3 or 4 times, alternating between feet. Think of it as speaking 2 different languages, one for each side of the body, and letting them meet in balance. For variation, you can try gentle tapping with your fingertips instead of circular motion. This rhythmic tapping can help wake up the nerves if you're feeling sluggish or disconnected. Or if you prefer something more soothing, warm a few drops of oil, sesame or coconut, and massage it into the spot with both thumbs, making small figure 8 patterns. If you have a smooth river stone, place it under the arch of your foot and roll it slowly back and forth, letting the weight of your leg apply natural pressure. Each variation carries the same intention, awakening awareness in the most grounded part of your body. Reflexology pioneer Eunice Ingham, author of Stories the Feet Can Tell, wrote, "If you listen to the feet long enough, they will tell you the story of the whole body." Her words remind us that this practice isn't about technique, it's about presence. Your feet hold a lifetime of steps, of memories, of moments you stood strong or felt lost. As you press into this point, you're not just easing physical tension. You're acknowledging every place your soul has traveled. Continue to breathe slowly. Inhale peace. Feel it filling the lungs, the chest, the mind. Exhale tension. Imagine it leaving through the soles of your feet, dissolving into the ground below. Each breath is a cleansing tide, washing over the body's inner shore. If you feel a sigh coming, let it happen. If your eyes close, let them rest. Stillness isn't something you must create. It's what appears when you stop running from silence. Some people like to visualize this golden light expanding beyond the body, moving into the room, then into the space around them, as if they're sitting in a quiet field of warmth. That image, whether real or imagined, invites the body to believe in peace again. Now pause. Keep your hand where it rests. Feel the pulse beneath your skin, the rhythm that never stopped, only hid beneath the noise of thought. That gentle quiet entering your body right now. That's not just relaxation, that's your soul remembering home. When the body finally begins to speak, it doesn't use words, it speaks in warmth, in trembling, in the sudden release of a breath you didn't realize you were holding. The body remembers everything the mind forgets, every emotion ever silenced, every heartbreak swallowed, every fear ignored, doesn't disappear. It simply migrates inward, weaving itself into muscle fibers, fascia, and the subtle layers beneath your skin. Your shoulders carry stories of burden. Your stomach holds the ache of worry. And your feet, the foundation that meets the earth, hold the echoes of every step you took while pretending you were fine. Scientists call this somatic memory, the way the body encodes experiences not as thoughts, but as sensations. Each cell holds a faint trace of what it has endured. Energy medicine calls it energy memory, a record that lives in vibration, in the unseen hum of your tissues. When you touch the body consciously, you invite these memories to move, to surface, to dissolve as you pressed the peace point in your foot. Something subtle began, a quiet communication between your physical and emotional selves. The pressure and warmth stirred not only circulation, but also the neural pathways connected to your limbic system, the emotional center of the brain. Through a vast network of nerves, the body sends messages to the brain. It's safe now. You can release. The vagus nerve, sometimes called the nerve of compassion, weaves from the brainstem down through the heart, lungs and gut, and connects deeply to the feet through a chain of peripheral pathways. When this nerve is soothed by gentle touch or deep breathing, it activates the body's parasympathetic state, the biological signal for safety and calm. In this state, muscles soften, fascia, that thin webbing that wraps around every organ and muscle, begins to unwind. This unwinding isn't just physical, it's emotional. The fascia, rich with nerve endings, is like an archive of everything we've felt but never expressed. That sudden sigh, the tears that appear without reason, the trembling after deep relaxation, these are signs of somatic release. The energy that was once locked in contraction is finding freedom. As Bessel van der Kolk wrote in The Body Keeps the Score. The body keeps the score. It remembers what the mind forgets. These words echo a truth both scientific and spiritual, that the nervous system holds on to the past until it feels witnessed. When the peace point awakens, it's as if you've opened a door into that inner archive. You might feel warmth spreading or emotions rising for no apparent reason. Let them come. You don't need to analyze them. Your only task is to listen. If you feel like crying, cry softly. If laughter comes, let it ripple through. This is cellular calm, the body's way of releasing stored emotion through movement and sensation. You are not breaking down. You are breaking open. Every deep sigh is a sentence spoken in the body's forgotten language. Every wave of warmth is the nervous system rewriting its own story. From a spiritual lens, this release is an energetic cleansing, the unraveling of stagnant frequencies that once clouded your inner light. Many ancient healing traditions speak of this as clearing the nadis or meridians, the invisible rivers of energy that flow through the subtle body. When those rivers open, emotions long trapped in the current finally return to motion, like thawed ice melting into water. You may feel light afterward, or strangely tender. Both are sacred responses. The body is remembering how to trust your presence. If your eyes softened or your breath deepened while reading this, it's because your body has waited years to be heard. It doesn't need fixing. It needs witnessing. It needs the silence that says, I'm here now. You can let go. After this practice, sit quietly. You don't have to do anything, simply be. Feel the echoes of your breath in your chest, the pulse under your skin. If emotions linger, let them move through you like weather. You may wish to take a few minutes to journal what arose, not as analysis, but as a continuation of listening. Write what you felt in your body. Heaviness, tingling, stillness, tears. Sometimes the act of naming sensations brings closure to what the body has carried unnamed for too long. And if writing doesn't call to you, simply rest. Lay your hand over your heart and whisper a quiet thank you to your body for carrying you, for protecting you, for finally speaking. The unraveling is not chaos. It's truth finding its way home through flesh. What you feel now is not weakness. It is the sound of your spirit exhaling at the end of every day, when noise fades, when thoughts grow dim. Your feet still carry the memory of everywhere you've been. They hold the impressions of your choices, your emotions, your silent endurance. That is why, before the day dissolves completely, you bring your awareness back to them, to the foundation that connects your spirit to the earth. This is the daily grounding ritual. A 3-minute act of remembrance. Not of tasks or people, but of presence. Begin simply. Find a quiet corner, perhaps beside your bed or near a softly lit candle. Sit where your spine can relax and your breath can flow without effort. If you can, let your feet be bare, open to the air unmasked. Place your hands over your feet and take a slow, deliberate breath. Feel the warmth of your palms sinking into the coolness of your skin. Inhale peace. Exhale the dust of the day. Now press your thumbs gently into the soft curve beneath the ball of each foot, the same sacred spot you learned earlier. Move in slow circular motions. Let the rhythm of your touch match the rhythm of your breath. Don't rush. Don't seek a result. Just allow. Each circle is an invitation, a silent call to your nervous system to return home. As you breathe, feel the day unraveling, as if every rotation is unwinding a thread of tension from your body's spool. You may feel warmth spreading, or a pulse awakening beneath your skin. That's the Earth's quiet response, her energy meeting yours. Ancient healers believed that through these points we exchange whispers with the planet itself. It's how the body re-enters its natural dialogue with peace. Repeat this gentle motion for 3 minutes. You can do it in the morning to begin your day from stillness, or at night to let peace settle before sleep. If you wish, add a few drops of warm oil, sesame, coconut, or lavender, something that carries softness into your senses. The oil acts as a bridge between skin and spirit. As you massage, imagine light rising through your soles, golden and steady, traveling up your legs, through your heart, and into your breath. This isn't imagination. It's awareness shaping the nervous system toward harmony. Holistic health teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet." This ritual is that kiss, quiet, grateful and healing. You don't need devotion or discipline, only sincerity. Even 3 minutes can recalibrate your energy field and nervous system. Over time, you'll notice changes that feel subtle but profound. Your sleep deepens. Your mood lightens. A quiet confidence rises from within, not as a thought but as a vibration. The body, when treated as sacred, begins to trust you again. For elders or those who find sitting difficult, this ritual can be done while lying down. Simply rest one foot over the other knee and use light pressure with your fingers, or even a smooth stone warmed by your palms. What matters is not the strength of the touch, but the softness of intention. Let this moment become your evening language. The way you say thank you to your own body. As your hands move, imagine each stroke wiping away the residue of stress, leaving behind a sense of clean silence. If you prefer mornings, do it right after waking. Before screens, before words, let your first act be connection. Skin to earth, breath to being, each night return to the earth. Let your feet remember peace. Soon, this 3-minute ritual won't feel like a task. It will feel like a reunion. The point beneath your foot becomes not just a muscle zone, but a small altar, a reminder that the path to calm was never far away. It was always beneath you, waiting for you to come home. And softly, place both hands over your heart. Whisper to yourself, "I'm safe, I am home, I am at peace." And feel how, through the smallest act of touch, the world inside you begins to settle once more. Across all ages and continents, the feet have carried more than the weight of our bodies. They've carried the weight of our stories, our prayers, our surrender. Every step is a silent vow between the human soul and the earth that sustains it. In ancient cultures, the act of touching, washing, or blessing the feet was never ordinary. It was sacred. It was an acknowledgement that divinity begins where the body meets the ground. In Hinduism, washing the feet of elders or spiritual teachers, the Pada Puja, is considered one of the highest gestures of devotion. The Sanskrit word pada means foot and puja means worship. It wasn't about the dust or the cleansing. It was about the humility of the heart. Ancient scriptures describe it as a way to absorb blessings, to receive energy through the same channel that connects the sage to the earth. The act whispered, "I bow to the path you've walked, and I ask to walk it with purity." In Christianity, we find the same reverence through the story of Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. The Messiah, a teacher, a healer, kneels before his followers, not above them. This single act reversed every notion of power. In that basin of water, humility became holiness. The message was clear. Peace is not found by rising higher, but by lowering oneself closer to the dust from which we came. And in Buddhism, the symbolism is carried by the barefoot monks who walk the earth with nothing but mindfulness in their steps. Each stride is prayer in motion. They walk without shoes, not as a sign of poverty, but of intimacy, to remain in direct conversation with the planet, to feel its pulse beneath their souls. For them, enlightenment begins not in the sky, but beneath their feet. The feet, as an old Zen saying goes, are the roots of the soul. Even in ancient Egypt, the feet were seen as channels of divine energy. Inscriptions on temple walls describe priests performing purification rites that began at the soles. They believed the energy of the earth, the ka, or vital force, entered the body through these sacred points. When you massage your own foot, you are not just easing a muscle. You are performing a quiet ritual of reverence for the journey you've walked, for the earth that has never failed to hold you, for the thousands of unseen moments that your feet have carried you through without complaint. The Rig Veda, one of the world's oldest sacred texts, describes the cosmic being Purusha, whose feet gave birth to the earth itself. It says, "From his feet the earth was born," the foundation of all things. Every time you touch your foot with awareness, you echo that ancient creation story. You remind yourself that you, too, are both the dust and the divine. To the ancient mystics, massaging the feet was more than self-care. It was prayer. The rhythmic circles pressed into the skin were like mantras spoken without words, a dialogue between body and spirit. The feet are the first to touch the earth at birth and the last to rest before death. They have walked through joy, sorrow, fear, and faith, and they never asked for thanks. Perhaps this is why every spiritual path honors them, because they embody the purest form of surrender. When you touch your feet tonight, let it not be just to release tension, but to bow to the life that has moved through you, to the ground that has carried you, and to the unseen sacredness that flows upward from the soil into your being. As the poet Rumi once wrote, "There are 1,000 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. This is one of them, the simplest, quietest, and perhaps the most ancient of all. There comes a moment, after the stillness, when you realize peace was never something to be found. It was always there, quietly humming beneath your skin, waiting for you to slow down enough to hear it. Every breath, every step, every heartbeat is an echo of that truth. The earth has always known how to calm you. It's been whispering the way home through the soles of your feet since the first moment you learned to stand, when you pressed that sacred point beneath your foot. It wasn't just your body you were soothing, it was your history. You awakened the map drawn by ancestors who understood that spirit and skin were never separate. You spoke the ancient language of touch, the one older than words, older than fear, older even than thought. Now, feel where you are, the floor beneath you, the rhythm of your breath, the soft pulse of life that continues without command. This is not a new peace you've discovered. This is remembrance. You have simply turned your awareness inward, back to the ground where it all began. Ancient healers said that when a person remembers their connection to the earth, they stop seeking peace outside themselves because they feel it under every step. The Buddha called it the middle way. The mystics of Egypt called it ma'at, balance. The yogis called it prana, flowing in harmony. Different names, one truth. The body is the doorway. The earth is the teacher, and silence is the temple. As you listen now, imagine standing barefoot on soil just after rain, that cool, alive silence rising through your legs, into your heart, into your mind. That is peace, not a thing to chase, but a current that moves through you when you stop resisting. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath move without effort. The same energy that stirs oceans and stars also moves through your veins. When you touch your foot with awareness, you touch the pulse of creation itself. Peace was never lost. It was only covered by noise, by hurry, by forgetting. But every time you pause, every time you breathe, Every time your hands meet your body with kindness, you remember, and as you remember, you return. Peace doesn't come to you. It rises from beneath your feet. So, if this video touched something within you, if you felt even a flicker of stillness or a soft warmth in your chest, imagine what's waiting in our next journey. Subscribe to Beyond the Figure and walk with us again, one breath, one step, one light at a time.